Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. After the Euros, the Copa America and pre-season, official club football in England is back and we start the 2024-2025 season in the Championship as Hillsborough is the venue for this evening's game between Sheffield Wednesday and Plymouth Argyle. Wednesday had a drastic start to last season as they began with 0 wins from their opening 13, but then young German manager Danny Roll was appointed and the tide quickly turned for the Owls, only suffering one defeat in the last 6 saw them stay up in this division by 3 points, finishing on 53 themselves. For Plymouth, there has been change for the new season. Wayne Rooney has been appointed as head coach, despite an awful experience last season in this division with eventually relegated Birmingham. This new chapter for him will make him look to try and keep his job at Plymouth and keep his new side in this division for another season. It was a home win each when these two sides met last season. 3-0 for Plymouth at the end of October and a 1-0 victory for Wednesday at the beginning of March. So on this opening weekend of the Championship season, can Sheffield Wednesday or Plymouth start their season with a win? And if anything's to go off last season, they'll both need as many wins as possible. Both survived by the barest of margins. Sheffield Wednesday were finished in 20th place in the end on 53 points, and Plymouth finished one spot outside those relegation spaces in 21st with 51 points. It's a long season, 46 games altogether, so this is only the beginning, so no one season ends after the first game, but it can tell you a lot about how your team might do throughout a season. If you have a slow start, you might worry a little bit more, but at the end of the day, you've got to give these teams a little bit of time to gel, because obviously a new season, lots of new signings, and for a lot of clubs it's new managers. That's the case for Plymouth today, and Danny Roll for Sheffield Wednesday. This is his first full season in charge of the club. He's 34 years of age, German coach. He is highly respected at Sheffield Wednesday. The players absolutely love working for him, and he was able to keep them up last season. He took charge of 35 Championship games, winning 15, drawing 5 and losing 15. So not the worst of records for a team that struggled so badly at the start of last season. And at home, it was a place where teams enjoyed coming to. Sheffield Wednesday only won one of their first 9 home games in the season. And as mentioned before, they only lost one of their last 6 home games. So it's a real place now where they've turned it back into a fortress like it was when they went up from League One 2 seasons ago now. They only lost one game at home in that season where they won promotion, finishing 3rd, going through the playoffs in the end that season. And for Plymouth, it's now Wayne Rooney who is in charge. Last season, they did bring in England youth coach of Ian Foster, and it just didn't work for him. Came in the January, was gone by the April. He took charge of 17 games altogether, and he was brought in to replace Steven Schumacher, who left Plymouth to join Stoke in the middle of the season. So it wasn't all Plymouth's fault. It's not like they sacked Steven Schumacher and it all went a bit wrong, a bit like Birmingham, who sacked their successful manager John Eustace, who's now at Blackburn. It was taken out of their hands. Steven Schumacher left on his own terms to go to Stoke City, and it kind of left Plymouth in a little bit of an awkward situation where they had to go and find someone mid-season. They found Ian Foster, didn't really work, but they were just about able to stay up after his departure. Plymouth didn't have the best of times away from home last season in the Championship, just the 3 wins away from home against Swansea and Middlesbrough in the February, and they also beat Rotherham in April. They failed to win any of their first 14 away games last season, Plymouth Argyle, just showing how strong they had to be at home to keep themselves in the division. As both sets of teams and lineups are now in the tunnel as we wait for kick-off, which is just over 5 minutes away at the moment. And it is Hillsborough, which is the place where play will take place tonight. And I think with the finish that Sheffield Wednesday had at the back end of last season, just one loss in their last 8 altogether, and that was away at Middlesbrough, that defeat. And, Danny Roll, the manager, is spoke of so highly, and they've brought in 10 new signings to improve what they had last season. I think Sheffield Wednesday will want to, be well clear of those relegation spaces. I don't think their ambitions are unrealistic if they're looking for, maybe mid-table. I think with the level of coach they've got, the new signings they brought in, the momentum from last season, I think Sheffield Wednesday will want to try and really, consolidate themselves in this division. And I think for Plymouth, with how they did last season, just surviving and bringing in Wayne Rooney, who's not really a successful manager in this division, it's not been proven. He was, of course, relegated with Derby, but that was a lot of conditions that were out of his hands in terms of the finances of Derby. I think he did a good job with Derby for what he had at his disposal. Then went to DC United. Then Birmingham was an absolute disaster. 2 wins from 15. Just one of those wins was away from home, and that was against Cardiff. So I think there's just a lot of uncertainty for Plymouth. I think it's excitement having a young head coach like Wayne Rooney, the calibre of player he was, only retired in January of 2021. I think for Plymouth, they've got to get started quickly. If they start on the wrong foot, and questions are asked immediately of Wayne Rooney and if he can do it at this level, it might be a long season for Plymouth. But at the minute, it's the first game of the season, and not too much can be drawn from this game. Even if they win, they've got to prove that they can win games on the bounce. That it's not just they can win games here and there. In this division, if you can get yourself on decent little runs of form every month or so, it can keep you in this division. And starting with a win away from home could really lift Plymouth. And, their expectations for the season. If they start well, they might be looking away from the relegation zone. But more unlikely for Plymouth, it might be a relegation battle this season. Not to be too negative, but you've got to see clubs for how they are. And Plymouth did really well to get to this division, winning the title in the League One 2 seasons ago now. We'll also go through both lineups very quickly. We'll start with the home side of Sheffield Wednesday, and a returning goalkeeper of James Beadle was on loan last season for the second half of the season from Brighton. He has returned for another loan spell. Back 4 of new signing Jan Valery, left back another new signing from the red side of Sheffield, and that's Max Lowe, and 2 centre halves of Dominic Iorfa and Dishon Bernard. 2 older midfielders of captain Barry Bannon, who's played 45 games last season at the age of 34, scoring the once in a 2-1 away defeat against Cardiff. And alongside him is new signing Svante Ingelsson, who was brought in on a free from Germany. 3 behind the striker on the right will be Anthony Musaba. On the left is going to be Jedi Gassama. In behind the striker will be Josh Windass. And through the middle, another new signing brought in on a free from Bournemouth, and that'll be Jamal Lowe. Spent last season on loan in the Championship with Swansea and scored 9 goals. And he's got 39 goals altogether at this level in his career. For Plymouth, Wayne Rooney's first competitive starting 11, and Connor Hazard is in goal. Usual number 1 Mike Cooper is on the bench, as there is interest for him from Sheffield United. Back 4, new signing at right back, that'll be Victor Palsson, who worked under Rooney at DC United in 2023. Left back will be another new signing on a free from Swansea, and that is Nathaniel Ogbeta. 2 centre halves of captain Lewis Gibson and very experienced 28-year-old Brendan Galloway. 2 older midfielders of Adam Forshaw, and another new signing of Darko Giabi, who was on loan here at Plymouth last season, played 10 times before being injured with a groin injury in March, and he was sent back to Leeds, but he's back now for another loan spell here at Plymouth. 3 behind the striker on the right is Morgan Whittaker, who they've been able to keep this season after a very successful season in the Championship, scoring 19 goals altogether and being named in the Championship Player Team of the Season. On the left is Ibrahim Sissoko, they brought in on loan from Toulouse, and in behind the striker will be Mustafa Bundu, who they brought in from Anderlecht last season on deadline day. And up front, leading the line, will be number 26, Mohamed Tijani, brought in on loan from Slavia Prague. He scored 4 goals last season for Slavia Prague, and he is a former Nigerian under-20s international. So it looks like we're about to get underway here at Hillsborough. It'll be Plymouth to kick us off. kicking left to right. Sheffield Wednesday right to left. Both of these sides just scraped survival. They'll be looking for much better this season. Can either of these two sides get off to a winning start? We've got 90 minutes to try and find out. As Plymouth kickers off, they go back to their goalkeeper of Hazard. First time clearance forward with the left foot up towards the edge of the box, where it's headed away there by Bernard for Sheffield Wednesday. A hurried clearance does find Jamal Lowe. And it's now Barry Bannon over the top down the left-hand side here for Sheffield Wednesday. The goalkeeper's come out for Plymouth, and he's able to clear it there ahead of Gassama. And it's now Plymouth on the ball here with their number 15 of Bundu, who turns away from Bannon on the near side. Plays it to Morgan Whittaker, who's tackled by Windass. And he goes inside to his right here to Ingleson. Tackled by Bundu. Ball is loose. Bannon slides in straight to Giarbi. It's now Forshaw for Plymouth in the centre circle. Finding Giarbi. Shifts it to the left. It's an overhit pass. Can't quite be kept in there by the number 7 of Ibrahim Sissoko. And it's a throw in a right back position for Sheffield Wednesday. Quite the frantic start there here at Hillsborough, as there's no real control in the game at the minute, but we are only a minute into the game. As Sheffield Wednesday have it with their right winger here of Gassama, going across to the left back of Max Lowe, finding Masaba. Max Lowe looking down the left hand side for Windass, loose ball again, and it drops to the number 45 of Masaba in the central area, tripped by Giarbi. And that'll be a free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. And they want to take it quickly. And they get it out to the left wing here to Windass in the final third. Entering the box. Goes on the outside and crosses. It's deflected in the air by Galloway. Whittaker volleys. Only as far as Bannon on the edge of the area. 1-on-1 with Whittaker. Barry Bannon has it. Goes forward here to Windass. Playing it forward to Masaba. Trying to get around Gibson. And he does just that. Brought down in the box. No penalty given by the referee. Gassama there. Going around the Plymouth captain of Gibson. Wanted the penalty. Got in front of Gibson. Using the pace. Bit of pulling, bit of shoving. No, not enough in it for me for a penalty. Would have been very soft, but it is a warning sign for Plymouth. As it does look like it's going to be Masaba on the left wing and Gassama on the right for Sheffield Wednesday. As we're just over 2 minutes in here at Hillsborough, and it's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Plymouth 0. Sheffield Wednesday with the first half chance of the game. A penalty shout, but not given by the referee. As it's a Plymouth throw-in a left-back position here with Nathaniel Ogbeta, former England under-20 international. Spent 10 years at Manchester City's academy before leaving on a permanent for Shrewsbury. Now finds himself at Plymouth. They're giving the ball away here. The away side. That's now with Sheffield Wednesday with their goalkeeper, James Beadle, who spent the first half of last season on loan in League One with Oxford before then being shipped out in the January to the Championship, going up a level more, keeping 8 clean sheets in 19 games for Wednesday. He is contracted at Brighton for another 4 years, as he's got it on the edge of his box. Goes out to the right here to the number 6 of Dominic Iorfa. His clearance down the line is blocked off there by Mohamed Tijani of Plymouth, and it's a throw-in for Wednesday in their own half. And it'll be taken by the right back of Yann Valery, brought in from Angers in France, promoted with the French side into Ligue 1 for this season, but he's left to rejoin the English game. Was formerly of Southampton, as throwing down the line has worked its way through to Windass, tries to lift it into the box for Jamal Lowe. Dealt with by Galloway, right in front of the corner flag. He keeps it in and clears it down the Plymouth left. Only as far as Bannon helps it forward, straight to Galloway again, who heads it down the line, but straight to Bannon. He goes back into the centre circle with Bernard, and it's Wednesday back on the ball. Definitely been the better side in the opening 4 minutes. Here's number 45 of Masaba, running at the Plymouth fullback. Lowe takes over, low ball into the area. Windass giving time to shoot, and it's blocked, and it's eventually cleared out of play by Victor Palsson. And again, it's Plymouth on the back foot. Good running there by Musaba. Tackled though by Palsson. It then dropped to Windass, whose shot was off the back of Forshaw. And it's going to be a corner for Sheffield Wednesday. 2 arms in the air by captain Barry Bannon, who's been at the club now since 2015. He's made over 400 appearances for the Owls. As it's the first set piece of the match, and it goes for Sheffield Wednesday. Plenty of bodies in there. Bannon floats it towards the far post, where it's come off the back of Paulson for Plymouth, picked up by Iorfa on the far side here. Ingleson plays it inside, great ball. Iorfa crosses, headed away for Plymouth. All as far as Sheffield Wednesday, as they play it through down the right-hand side, looking towards Ingleson, who will get there ahead of Ogbeta. Just about keeps it here at the minute. Can Wednesday work across into the box here? Down the line it goes. Low ball off Ogbeta. Another corner here for Sheffield Wednesday. Jan Valery working the cross there. And it looks like Valery is actually number 27. He's number 12 on my score sheet, but he's actually number 27 as the cross goes in. Header away for Plymouth by Gibson, all as far as Bannon, lifting it back out to the right-hand side here where Windass controls, tackle by Forshaw. And that'll be a throw-in the final third for Sheffield Wednesday, as it's a very nervy start for Plymouth. As it is the home side who were dominating. And there is Wayne Rooney, fourth club of his career in terms of management. Started at Derby, then DC United, then Birmingham. One win against Sheffield Wednesday in his managerial career, and it came against Danny Roll whilst he was at Birmingham back in November of last year. Has lost here as well, 1-0, back in January 2021, whilst he was at Derby. Long thrown into the box for Wednesday towards Iorfa. Header won by Plymouth, still alive in the area for Wednesday. Bit of head tennis going on as Whittaker goes down in the box after a slight little shove. And it'll be a free kick for Plymouth in their 18-yard box, as hopefully it just allows the pressure to be eased off them a little bit here. As in terms of a head-to-head record against each other, Sheffield Wednesday have 17 wins and Plymouth also have 17 wins. But Plymouth haven't won here away from home since March 2011. They won 4-2 here the last time they won. No wins in the last four, though, on the travels to Hillsborough for Plymouth. And it looks like it's going to be cleared along here by Connor Hazard. Despite the Sheffield Wednesday pressure early on, the goalkeeper Connor Hazard hasn't quite been tested in the Plymouth goal, as he sends a high ball out to the right-hand side here, where it's a free control for Sheffield Wednesday with Ingleson. It's now Lowe, the left-back, in behind down the left-hand side. It'll be given chase to by Jamal Lowe, but it will be the goalkeeper who gets there first for Plymouth Argyle. And he rolls it to his left here, to Galloway, to the left back of Ogbeta. Galloway again, turning away from Musaba and clearing it high up towards the halfway line, where it's headed won by Ingleson, won by Bannon as he plays it forward, and he's just been caught there by Forshaw. And it'll be a free kick just in front of the centre circle for Sheffield Wednesday. A little bit of afters there between Bannon and Forshaw. Just a bit of a high challenge there from Adam Forshaw. Barry Bannon wasn't happy. Definitely let the referee, Lewis Smith, know that that was a high challenge. And 8 minutes in, still 0-0 here. And it's with the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper of James Beadle. Kept 13 clean sheets last season, Wednesday. 8 of them through the young goalkeeper of Beadle. As again, a ball in behind for Wednesday. Looking for Lowe. Just can't quite beat the goalkeeper to it. And it's Plymouth again with the ball in their 18-yard box here. Former Celtic goalkeeper Connor Hazard spent 9 years there. 5 loan spells, though, whilst he was at Celtic. Only played for them 7 times as he fires the ball straight out of play. Just beyond the halfway line on this near side. Right in front of his own manager there, Maxlow. As he gets the return from the throw and then plays it inside here to number 45 of Musaba. Trying to refine Maxlow, but it'll be Paulson to get there for Plymouth, and he just kicks it out of play. Throwing in the final third again for Wednesday, this time on the near side. And it is quite a controversial move from Maxlow, the Wednesday left back, going from Sheffield United to Sheffield Wednesday. Joined after the end of his contract at Sheffield United. And he's going to leave this throw-in, as it's going to be a long one in from Savante Ingleson, the Swedish central midfielder, who will launch it into the box with the throw-in towards the penalty spot. Header won by Gibson for Plymouth. All as far as Bannon, who tries to shield the ball away from Whittaker, but he gets a slight touch and Bundu nearly breaks away. But it's a clearance in the end by Gibson for Plymouth. Up towards Sissoko, who can't quite beat Jan Valery to the ball. And it'll be Sheffield Wednesday to restart on the edge of their 18-yard box with the goalkeeper, James Beadle, who's made the bench twice for the England under-21s, but hasn't featured yet for the under-21s at England level. Only 20 years old. The goalkeeper, as Wednesday on the far side have it, it's Iorfa, working it to Valery. It's a great ball to Gassama, running down the right-hand side, pulled down by Giabi. And that'll be another foul. It's his second one so far for the central midfielder on loan from Leeds United. Left Manchester City, Darko Giabi, for Leeds for £5 million. Not quite worked for him. Brought in January last season, as he had worked with the old Plymouth manager of Ian Foster, worked with him at England level, at the under-20 level, but his loan was cut short at Plymouth due to a groin injury he picked up. But he's back again for another spell. Free kick for Sheffield Wednesday on the right-hand side. Delivered into the box by Windass. Headed into the air by Galloway. Hazard's coming to get it, and he punches away for Plymouth. And it'll be punched away for a throw-in. For Sheffield Wednesday, we know they've got a long throw-in in them, and it'll more than likely be launched back in here. I didn't quite fancy the catch there. Connor Hazard. He could have. He had the time for it. It's not gone long, the throw-in this time. So the left back low into Windass on the angle in the final third. Plays it through. And inside, Ingleson shooting with the left foot at the near post. Got down low well there, Connor Hazard, to just palm it behind for a corner for Wednesday. Good reverse ball that by Windass to find the number 41 there of Gassama. And eventually the outside of the boot shot from Ingleson was well saved by Hazard. It's going to be an in-swinger from this near side by Josh Windass, who scored 3 in his last 3 games at the back end of last season. As he crosses in towards the goalkeeper, who just about gets a touch to it and sends it behind for another corner. Been all Wednesday in the opening 12 minutes of this opening match for both of these sides. If you are new, if you could like, subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Next commentary is tomorrow night as Luton host Burnley. There's Windass again. In-swinger, far post, header across and an overhead kick over the bar. Not the worst of attempts there by Dijon Bernard, the centre-half, who I believe was the one who went for the acrobatic attempt. Again, another wrong number. Sorry, Bernard is number 5. It's number 17 on my screen there, to the left. He is actually number 5 for Wednesday this season. A number change for the former Manchester United centre-back. So we're not really seeing anything of Rooney style for Plymouth, because they've not had the ball yet. They've had to just do a lot of defending so far. Not conceding too many huge chances. I know Ingleson there had a shot at the near post which was saved, but it's just been a lot of possession mainly for Sheffield Wednesday so far. As it's on the far side, the right wing for Sheffield Wednesday. It's with Gassama going back to Bannon and returning the ball here to Gassama. Switching it to the left here to Musaba in the box. Can he cross it? He tries to. Comes off Palsson. And it's another throw-in right next to the corner flag for Wednesday. Cutting open this Plymouth side too easily here. Windass takes the throw-in quickly. Musaba. Playing it back to Max Lowe, the left back. Back once more to Bannon, just goes under his foot. He'll have to chase this down, the captain. He's been chased down by Bundu. Bannon slides, shields the ball, and turns away from Bundu. That is brilliant from Barry Bannon. He is like a fine wine. He's just getting better with age. Sheffield Wednesday's number 10. You know, he's been chased down there by a very young Bundu. Young compared to Barry Bannon anyway. But he was able just about able to get across him and then slide in to just keep the ball away from Plymouth's number 15. And Wednesday have the ball on the halfway line. Worked out to the right-hand side by Ingleson. Can't be quite kept in, though, by Gassama. And there'll be a Plymouth throw-in on the far side. Just inside their own half, already taken. And they've worked it to their goalkeeper in the 18-yard box of Connor Hazard. Getting the ball stuck under his feet and just about poking it away to Forshaw on the edge of the box. Turns away from Windass. That was almost a huge error by the goalkeeper because Jamal Lowe was on his feet. As Palsson clips it up towards Tajani for Plymouth. Shielding the ball. Shoved to the ground by Iorfa, and Ingleson takes it away. Nothing given by the referee there. He was looking for a foul. Mohamed Tajani saying his shirt was being pulled, but the referee, Lewis Smith, just waved it away. And we're just under 15 minutes in here. And it is still Wednesday 0, Plymouth 0. Sheffield Wednesday starting the brighter on the halfway line with Bannon being closed down by Forshaw. Tries to send it through for low. Cut out by Ogbeta, who sends it up into the air for Plymouth. Controlled and played to Bundu here in the centre circle. Playing out to the right to Whittaker. Can't quite beat Max Lowe to the ball. It's an opportunity that Plymouth needed to take there, and it's now a counter-attack for Sheffield Wednesday with Masaba down the left-hand side here, into the final third, onto his right foot, edge of the area, wants to shoot, will shoot, can't quite catch it, slowly rolls into the hands of Connor Hazard, but it's really positive running there by Anthony Masaba, brought in on a free from Monaco last season, former Dutch under-21 international, scored 7 goals in the Championship last season, 2 in his last 6, coming against QPR and West Brom. He looks very dangerous once he gets going. As it's Plymouth to play out from the back, midway side of their own half, far side, Ogbeta the left back, works it to Sissoko, who then overruns it, but the clearance from Ingleson gives it to Bundu, sends it out to the left. It's a great ball to Sissoko, who's going to keep it in for Plymouth. It's the first time they've got forward here. Sissoko running at Valerie. Ogbeta's on the overlap. Still with Sissoko. Crossing into the box, and it's a header by Iorfa, and it's a corner for Plymouth. It's took them 16 minutes to attack the Wednesday goal, and they've got a corner for their efforts there. Ibrahim Sissoko, they've brought in on loan from Toulouse, the one really causing the danger there. And they're sending their taller players forward here, Plymouth, 2 centre-backs up there. With Gibson, the captain, Forshaw delivers the ball in, it's gone all the way through, bouncing around in the box, and it drops to the edge of the area very thankfully for Sheffield Wednesday as they try and break, but the pass can't quite find the forward player of Ingleson there. Gesama not quite finding Ingleson. It's back with Plymouth with their goalkeeper Hazard. Goes to the centre-back of Gibson, having to go back to Hazard again. Who just clears it first time, sending it high out to the Plymouth right-hand side, where it'll be low to win the header for Wednesday. Only as far as Palsson. Looks for Giabi in the midfield, but it's Bannon to get there first. His ball isn't great. Picked up by Gibson, header low. But Lowe was offside anyway as the ball was played. And it's a Plymouth free kick. As for Plymouth in their pre-season, they played 5, won 3, drew 1, lost 1. Drew to Orlando Pirates in Marbella. That was a 2-2 draw. And then beating the likes of Cheltenham, Torquay and MK Dons. The only loss was against Bristol Rovers, who were League 1. Went 2-0 down in the first half. Got one back late with Hardy, who's on the bench today for Plymouth. But overall, positive results as Giabi picks it up in the centre circle. Loose ball by Bannon. Giabi on the edge of the area. Will he shoot or will he pass it? He'll play it to his left to Sissoko. Wasn't the best of passes. And Sissoko tried to turn away from Valerie. Quick feet. Sissoko towards the byline. Last touch from Valerie. And that'll be a goal kick by the referee. Sissoko is absolutely, completely angered by that decision. Giabi took too long to make that pass to Sissoko. And when he got it, he's got quick feet. He really got quick feet. Valerie dived in. Looked like he got a slight touch to the ball to send it out of play. But the referee saw it as Sissoko with a heavy touch to get it out of play. And he disagreed, but it'll be a Sheffield Wednesday goal kick. Still 0-0 here. Plymouth just slowly growing into the game in terms of going forward. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you could like, subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be fantastic. We are back for the new season. Plenty of commentaries coming your way. I'll go through some more of them that we've got planned in the upcoming weeks. Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, there's a great switch out to the right-hand side here. It's Gesama lifting it into the run of Valerie in the box. Angle tight. Galloway gets across. Kicks it away from him. And it's another corner for Sheffield Wednesday. Good defending there by the left-back of the left centre-back, Brendan Galloway. It's the most he's ever played last season in a league season. He played 26 times for Plymouth in the Championship. He's usually hit with a lot of injuries, Brendan Galloway, hence why he's never really played the majority of games in a league season. But looks like he's getting better in terms of not picking up as many injuries. Hopefully he can stay injury-free this season. Corner to the edge of the box by Wednesday. Header won by Sissoko for Plymouth. As he'll chase down another header. It'll be Valerie to get there first and just cleared away by Lowe into the box. And it'll be Jamal Lowe to chase it down. I've just realised Wednesday have 2 Lows. Jamal Lowe, the striker, and Max Lowe, the left-back. As Giabi skips beyond Bannon, but overruns it. And it's Ingleson now to Windass, 25 yards out, shooting from afar, blocked by the feet of Brendan Galloway, and headed away by the Plymouth centre-half. But it'll be Ingleson to have it now for the home side, turning away from Gibson, but losing it here to Sissoko, who's pulled back there by Ingleson, and midway side the Plymouth half. It'll be a free kick for the away side. 20 minutes in, Wednesday have been better, Plymouth slowly growing, but for Plymouth, they need to get their main man on the ball more, Morgan Whittaker. 19 goals last season in the league. You've got to be using him to your best of abilities. This summer he's been linked with a move to Rangers and Leeds as well. I think they've done really well to keep him so far. Plymouth and Morgan Whittaker, who they only signed for £1 million, and if they were to sell him, they'd be getting a lot more than that £1 million they spent on him. Be a great bit of, it'd be a really good bit of profit there for Plymouth. As it looks like Adam Forshaw, their central midfielder, who was brought in on a free in January, he's just struggling with a slight little knock here, possibly. He's taken off one of his boots, so I'm not sure if he's a problem with his boots or he's been caught, or I'm not too sure there. As it is exciting times for Plymouth, who were able to stay in the division, which is that was definitely their main aim, and now they're under Wayne Rooney. Hopefully it goes well for them, as it is Adam Forshaw still on the sidelines for Plymouth, who's just changing his boots here. So Plymouth currently down to 10 men at the moment. He's definitely one of their more experienced players, Adam Forshaw, at the age of 32. Came through the Everton Academy, won the Championship title with Leeds in 2019-2020, but missed a lot of that season for injury. And as Plymouth sent the ball out of play there, it looks like we're going to get a drinks break here. It is very warm in England, about 25 degrees. So we're just nearly halfway inside this first half, and we're going to get a drinks break at Hillsborough. And it is Wednesday on top. Plymouth just about holding out in terms of keeping a clean sheet at the moment. Still yet to have a shot on goal, though, Plymouth. But it does seem like that attacking four they've got of Whittaker, Bundu, Sissoko and Tijani, that could really cause some sides some problems if they can get them on the ball. At the moment, they're just struggling to get their attackers on the ball at the moment. For Sheffield Wednesday, they've had 5 shots, 2 on target, 70% of the ball. So yeah, we've not quite been able to see the Rooney style of play yet. And for Wednesday, it wasn't the best of pre-seasons in terms of results. They won 1 game, and that was their first game against Alfreton at the start of July. Then lost 3-0 to Brighton, 4-0 to RB Salzburg, 2-2 draw to Werder Bremen, and then they drew 0-0 with Leganés in their last friendly, which was last week at home here at Hillsborough. And it was actually, in fact, Liam Palmer's testimonial game. Sheffield Wednesday's number 2, currently on the bench tonight. He's been at the club since 1999. He's been at the club since the age of 8. He has made over 400 appearances for Wednesday, so special day for him, but he's on the bench for the opener here. And it looks like we're 23 minutes in. Adam Forshaw's back on the pitch for Plymouth with a new pair of boots. We've had a drinks break, and then we're going to get back underway for the second half of this first half. Waiting for the first goal. We had plenty of goals in the Championship yesterday. We'll go through the EFL scores from yesterday at half-time. As Maxwell, the left-back, gives it away on the halfway line. And it's now Palsson for Plymouth. A high ball forward towards Tijani. Headed away from him by Iorfa, but straight to Forshaw. Plays it inside towards Whittaker. Caught as he played it. Not given as a foul, but Sheffield Wednesday just kicked the ball out of play. Bit of a hurried clearance, and it will be a Plymouth throw-in on this near side. Towards the final third. Started well from the restart from the drinks break. Palsson, the right back, brought in from Eupen on a free. Who play in Belgium. Throws it down the line towards Tijani, but it bounced off the turf quite quickly. Couldn't be held up and bounces out of play for Sheffield Wednesday goal kick. Yeah, number 44, Victor Palsson, Icelandic defender, playing at right back at the age of 33. Does have European experience, played 5 times in the Europa League with Zurich back in the 2018-2019 season. Won the German second division with Schalke a couple of seasons ago as well. So very experienced, and he's worked with Rooney, as mentioned before, at DC United. So Wednesday, trying to build forward, but they give it away on the Plymouth left, and they try and attack now with Sissoko. Playing it forward here, then going back to Ogbeta, the left back. Into the Plymouth half we go now with Galloway. Goes across to his centre-back partner of Gibson. Forward to Giabi, who's allowed to look forward for a pass and goes out to the left to Ogbeta. And then into Sissoko on the left wing. One-on-one with Valery. Very tricky feet, the young winger, as he tries to go inside. Does do so very nicely. Holding it up on the edge of the area. Kicked by Valery, and that'll be a free kick. Really well worn. And he's a dangerous player. Not seen him before. Ibrahim Sissoko, they brought in from Toulouse, and he actually featured for Toulouse in Ligue 1 last season. He played 11 times in the French top division, scored once against Lorient in April, played against PSG in the Super Cup, and he'll be a fullback's nightmare. His feet are so quick and tricky, and he's so raw as well, being just at the age of 21. But maybe from this free kick, Sheffield Wednesday might concede their first shot on goal. Plymouth still yet to even have a shot towards goal. It's about 22 yards out, right to the left-hand side. Definitely an angle for a shot, and it will be taken by Adam Forshaw, but he might also be tempted to cross it because Plymouth have got bodies in the box here. Forshaw takes it. It will be a shot towards goal, just lacks real pace. Quite an easy catch in the end there for the goalkeeper of James Beadle, who rolls it to the left-back area here to number 8, Zavance Ingolson, brought in this summer from Germany, as they give it away there, and it's a foul. Possibly it is by Musaba. Just got across Giabi, the Plymouth number 18. Got in front of the Sheffield Wednesday winger, and Plymouth taking it quickly. Whittaker can't quite get around low, and it's given away to the Owls. They try and win it back with Palsson. Max Lowe, the left back for Wednesday, keeps it. Goes back to Barry Bannon. And it's a free kick for Wednesday, I think. Just a bit of a heavy challenge, possibly by a Plymouth defender. And they're on the edge of the box here with Dishon Bernard. It's now Iorfa to the right back of Valery. Into the Plymouth half with the pass. And it's just about been kept in there by Windass, who's battling with Galloway. Galloway tries to clear it, but kicks off Windass, and it goes into the path of himself where he can keep it in, and he can cross it, and it's a header won by Gibson at the near post. Helped away for Plymouth towards Sissoko, who can't quite beat Gassama to it, and Gassama can bring it away from Wednesday into the path of Valery in the final third. Crosses into the area, and it goes to the far post. Kicks behind for a corner there by Palsson. Just gone a bit quiet, the Wednesday attacks, the last 5 or so minutes, but they were able to get themselves back on the front foot. Valery with a wicked cross right along that 6-yard line. It went beyond Jamal Lowe and through the legs of Gibson, and it had to be dealt with there by Palsson because Musaba was there at the far post, entering the box late, but couldn't quite beat the Plymouth defender to the ball. It's going to be an outswinger from the left boot of Barry Bannon. Captain's armband on his left arm. Both arms raised. Cross goes into the near post. It's been helped on over the bar, and it'll be another corner. It was Ingolson for Wednesday. He was going for it. Didn't quite get the touch towards goal, but they'll have another go at it from a corner. It'll be Bannon again. The last one was an in-swinger. This one's another outswinger here with the left boot. It's got Windass as the short option, and it'll actually be Windass to take it. A late change there. It will be an in-swinger here from Windass. Right in front of those Plymouth supporters who have travelled all this way, and it goes straight into the hands of Hazard. The goalkeeper wants to try and counter, but nothing's really on. Just slows the game down here. Connor Hazard, 6'6" Northern Irish goalkeeper, as it's given away by Galloway. Ogbeta tries to help him out, and he does just do so there. Giving it away to Gassama. And Ogbeta had to try and tackle him, and he did. It's now a Hazard, the goalkeeper again. Left-footed clearance up towards the halfway line down the Plymouth left. It's won by Valery. Ingolson wants to go forward, and he plays it forward to Windass. Slipping it through for Gassama. Back to goal. Plays it across to his left here to Jamal Lowe. Right-footed, able to shoot. It deflects, and Palsson just hurries a clearance away. Looking for his first goal on his competitive debut, Jamal Lowe. Worked the right-footed shot in the box there. Well won by Gassama. And Lowe trying to work it to the far post, blocked by Gibson, and Palsson just hurried away a clearance. It could have gone through to the goalkeeper, but Palsson was taking no chances there as Windass gets the return ball from the corner from Bannon and delivers it in towards the far post. It's a great crossing, Header away for Plymouth there by Tijani, but Windass was offside anyway as he received the ball back from Barry Bannon. We're just under half an hour in here, and it is still Wednesday 0, Plymouth 0. Wednesday have been the better side, look more likely to score, but again, not really testing Connor Hazard in the Plymouth 18-yard, in the Plymouth goal. It's Hazard, just clips it out to the Plymouth left to Ogbeta, the captain, controls it, but Windass is closing him down here. Goes back to Galloway, then forward down the left-hand side, looking for Tijani, the striker, nowhere near him in the end. It's collected by Bannon, out to the right here. Windass, edge of the box, goes across now. Bannon, first-time shot, doesn't quite catch it. Bit wild and a bit wide, and out of play it goes for a Plymouth goal kick. Good pressing there by Wednesday. They like to win the ball high up the pitch. Gives you the best chance to score your goals. And just there on the turn, Gassama laying it off for Bannon. He only scored once last season. Barry Bannon was in the month of August, so he's not scored for a while. But that one was never going to trouble the goalkeeper. As the ball's in the air here for Bannon to just try and head it to his right to a teammate, but instead it's gone to Sissoko, nutmegs Ingleson. Sissoko in behind towards Whittaker, but it's a header away by Bernard. Important header because Whittaker was away. And it's now Sheffield Wednesday on it. Bannon, first time ball, in behind for Jamalo, controls it. Flag has stayed down as well, but he's been dispossessed by Gibson. Plymouth on the ball with Giarbi. Goes beyond one player, plays it forward towards Sissoko. It's not a great pass again from Giarbi, and it's Iorfa who comes out with it. And it's a run down the line here. Can they get the cross in? Gassama crosses to the far post towards Masaba, who keeps it in here. On the byline, there's options on the edge of the area. Shifts it onto his right foot. Plays the overlap of Lowe, overhits it. And out of play for a goal kick. Really living on thin ice here. Plymouth Argyle. Bit of a collision there. Jamal Lowe just catching the knee of Paulson, which sent him to the ground. Wasn't a foul. But at times in the midfield, they're working nice little spaces, Plymouth, but it's just that pass to the attacking forwards that are just really letting them down. Tijani, the striker, with a flick on, looking for Bundu, and no-nonsense clearance away by Bernard, right up towards the 18-yard box here for Plymouth, who have to deal with this. Ogbeta, the left-back, heads it into the air, and he gets onto his own header. Finds Giarbi. Back it goes to Galloway, trying to lift it down the line, but it's been cut out by Gassama. For Sheffield Wednesday, 1-on-1 with Galloway. Tries to play it down the line into the 18-yard box, but he won't quite be met by Ingleson. And it will be another goal kick for Plymouth. That's tomorrow night. We'll be also commentating on two of the relegated sides from the Premier League, where Luton host Burnley. And then we're doing the UEFA Super Cup final between Real Madrid and Atalanta. That should be a good game. First glimpse of Kylian Mbappe in Real Madrid colours, hopefully, in a competitive game. As Plymouth have it on the halfway line with Ogbeta. Finding Sissoko down the line for Ogbeta again. Gets away from Ingleson. Ogbeta, the attacking fullback in the final third, holds it up. Takes on Valerie. Then goes back inside to Sissoko, the number 7. 1-2 with Bundu. Can't quite take it under control. Sissoko in the box, and it's cleared forward for Wednesday. Foul there, pushing the back from Brendan Galloway, sorry. But looks like that could be a nice little partnership down the Plymouth left. Nathaniel Ogbeta and Ibrahim Sissoko. I think that Sissoko will be a brilliant player for Plymouth just from the opening 33.5 minutes of this one, where it's still goalless. I hope you are enjoying. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do. Plenty of commentaries coming this season, just like last season. Don't know the exact number of commentaries we did last season, but it was plenty, and we did all different types of competitions and leagues and teams, so make sure you subscribe and notifications on so you know if I am commentating on your team or on a game that you find of interest. As it's Wednesday on the ball, just calmly keeping possession in their own half. It's with the goalkeeper, Beadle, who's just adventured out of his area just to be involved in the early stages of the build-up play here for Wednesday, who only won one of their first 9 games here at home last season. Just 7 draws here at home, 2 of them were 0-0. That's the scoreline currently at the moment, as Jan Valery from right back, midway side the Plymouth half, goes inside to Bannon, the space out on the left, but he goes down the right instead to Ingleson, who plays it across. Chance for Wednesday! And the goal scoring has already started, and it's Jamal Lowe, brought in on a free from Bournemouth, and it is everything they deserve. It's been a fantastic opening 35 minutes for Wednesday, And they have finally got their first goal of the new campaign. Jamal Lowe spent last season in this division with Swansea, scoring 9 goals. He's already got his first for his new club here. Well worked down the right-hand side. Valerie went to Bannon, who then sent it down the right-hand side again to Ingleson. Played it right across the 6-yard box, where there was 2 bodies to aim for, and it was Jamal Lowe who was able to get there towards the far post. It almost got away from him, but he was desperate to get on the end of it, sliding, poking his right foot at the ball to send it beyond Connor Hazard. In the Plymouth Argyle goal, went under his right arm. Masaba was there as well, just in case, but Jamal Lowe didn't need him. He was able to finish it on his own. And their new number 9 on the score sheet here, as at Hillsborough, it is Sheffield Wednesday 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. And that's the difference. When you've got a player with the experience but still with the quality that Barry Bannon possesses, he cuts through defences like knife through butter. It's so effective. You know, when Valerie took the ball inside to Bannon, I thought Bannon was then going to switch out to the left towards Masaba because there was a bit of space. But no, he saw the pass down the right channel instead to his central midfield partner of Ingleson, whose ball across was brilliant. But 2 new signings for Wednesday, combining to get that opening goal of the season. And a lot of thinking for Wayne Rooney and Plymouth Argyle, who haven't been great in this first half. They've had bright sparks from their attacking players, but they've just not got them on the ball enough so far. And they trailed by a goal to 0. Like I said, it took them, 15 games to win an away game last season. Their first away win came in February of last season at Swansea, so not exactly a great team when they have to play away from their home ground. It's Bannon again, sending it down the left-hand side, this time towards the left-back. Max Lowe's getting forward, but it's cut out by Gibson. Cleared by Connor Hazard, the goalkeeper, on the halfway line, where it's dealt with by Iorfa, sending it up into the sky towards the Wednesday left. Headed on by Palsson for Plymouth. Straight to Windass. Now Bannon over the top here. Surely he's offside, and he is. Flag goes up there on the number 41 of Jedi Gassama, the former PSG youth player, formerly of the France under-20 international team as well. It's on the halfway line, lifting it forward. Just went early. It's close. Gibson's not exactly in line with the rest of his defence, but I do think Gassama was just offside there. He still went through trying to score, bouncing it forward towards goal, but it was a strong right hand there by Connor Hazard. And it's still 1-0 to Wednesday. Scoring in the 35th minute as Whittaker gives it away there. Not a great ball from Plymouth's number 10. And now Sheffield Wednesday number 10 switched out to the right again to Ingleson. Controls in the box, tries to go on the inside, but Forshaw's tackling him. And he can play it down the left-hand side to Sissoko. It's now Forshaw, needs to go forward quicker than that, and it's eventually gone forward to Whittaker. Lays it off for Giabi, and goes to the right here to Palsson, who keeps in. Still in the Plymouth half on the near side. Goes down the line to Whittaker. Strong tackle from Lowe, gets away from him. Still with Whittaker going across the pitch. Tackled fairly by Ingleson. Drops to Forshaw. High ball, long ball down the left-hand side. And it's a header back by Jan Valery to the goalkeeper, Abidal. Just as Ingleson tried to cut in there, came off the right arm of Forshaw, but his arm was down by his side. That would have been a very harsh penalty. His arm's not in an unnatural position. He's not outstretched his arm to stop the ball. His arm is right tucked beside him. So a right decision from the referee to not give a penalty kick. As it's Plymouth on the ball, halfway line, on this near side, throwing for their new signing, Icelandic defender of Palsson. Lifted forward by Bundu. Tries the 1-2 with Tajani, but can't quite get it back to Bundu. It's now Iorfa to the goalkeeper, Beadle. Tajani's closing him here. Beadle needs to hurry up here as his clearance is deflected off Tajani. And it'll be kept in by Sissoko on the far side. As Plymouth have got it midway side the Sheffield Wednesday half. With the left back Ogbeta. Finding Sissoko. Tajani, about 25 yards from goal. Switching out to the right, looking for Whittaker. Controlled by Max Lowe. Got there ahead of the Plymouth winger. And Max Lowe sends it down the left-hand side. As Wednesday look to attack, but it's a great sliding challenge by Palsson. And Plymouth have it back in the midfield. Ball from Gibson to Forshaw. In the centre circle. Into the Wednesday half. Just needs to pass it quicker. Forshaw tackled. And Wednesday go forward again with Jamal Lowe. To the right-hand side here to Gassama. Tries to go on the inside. Plays it into Windass. Just on the edge of the box. Plays it into the area to Ingleson. Can he get a ball across? No tackle by Gibson. Fouled there by Ingleson. And it'll be a free kick in the Plymouth box here for the away side. Just in the midfield, it's just the passing. The passing is either not good enough or too slow. And that is looking at Adam Forshaw and Darko Giabi, who are finding themselves in nice little pockets of space in the midfield, and they've just got to get it forward quicker. And it's not like the players aren't there to pass it to. You know, Whittaker's demanding the ball, but not getting it. As there is Jamal Lowe's finish, just inside the 6-yard area at the far post, into the bottom left corner. It's a brilliant ball across the box there by Ingleson with the outside of his left boot. Two new signings combined, and it's probably the most satisfying thing a manager can have when two new arrivals combine together to score you a goal. As Plymouth have it in the Sheffield Wednesday half. Out to the left here to Sissoko. He's going to run at Valerie. Playing it across to the right to Garby. Gets the ball stuck under his feet and tackled by Windass. Down the edge of the box with Bernard. Out to the left, it's a great ball as well. Can it be kept in here? And it will be kept in. He's going to go around the long way there. Tried to anyway, Musaba. Got around Palsson, but Gibson came across to cover and help out and tackle the number 45 of Anthony Musaba. As we are edging closer to the end of this first half, 41 minutes played, it's Wednesday 1, Plymouth 0. A very deserved lead for the home side so far. Batting around the corner to the left there to number 45 of Musaba. Going to run at Palsson again. Touch isn't great, but he's able to keep it away from the defender and cross it into the box. It deflects a couple of times. A slip in there. Bannon works out to the right to Valerie. Still in the box. Back to Bannon on the edge. Forward to Jamal Lowe. Turning, can't shoot. And he trips Galloway. And it'll be another free kick for Plymouth. Just need to be careful here though, Wednesday. With all the domination they're having, they don't want to leave it at 1-0. Very precarious scoreline. But they're really enjoying their football on this opening weekend. The sun is shining and the football is flowing for Wednesday under Danny Roll, the 34-year-old manager. You know, worked at RB Leipzig for 8 years, many different roles, not just coaching, but board-like roles for him. Then spent just under a year at Southampton with Ralph Hasenhüttl. Worked at Bayern Munich and Germany with Hansi Flick as well. So he has worked with the best. It's Plymouth forward is Sissoko in the final third, in the box on the left-hand side. Wants it on the right foot, crosses with the left though. Finds Whittaker, touch, shot from Whittaker, and he sends it over the bar. But it's an attempt on goal. It's their second of the game. Their first came from a free kick. That's their first shot from open play. Again, Sissoko, he has been the brightest spark Plymouth have had in this game. Working across the far post to Whittaker, who on the edge of the area, touched with the right foot, tried to shoot with his left. But it was high and it was over the bar, trying to bend it into that top left corner. Just have the one goal, Morgan Whittaker against Sheffield Wednesday. That came last season in their 3-0 home win against them at the end of October, scoring right before half-time. It's the goalkeeper, Beadle. Long ball down the Wednesday right. Ogbeta needs to deal with it for Plymouth, but it'll be Jan Valerie to beat him to the ball here. Valerie turning, can't quite play a ball to a teammate. Ogbeta, the left back for Plymouth. Low ball down the line, finding Sissoko here. He's going to run at Ingleson. Couple of step overs, keeping the ball, entering the Wednesday half. And takes on Ingleson, then pulled down by the midfielder. Free kick for Plymouth. I know I keep going on about it, but I cannot believe how good this loan signing is of Ibrahim Sissoko. The Dutch winger currently plays for their under-21s. Played twice for them in the March of this year. Just so raw, but you get those players who like to dribble and do step overs, and sometimes it can be a bit messy, their play sometimes, but he keeps that ball glued to his feet as Palsson down the line can't find Whittaker. Straight out of play for a Wednesday throw in here as we've got under a minute left before we hit 45 minutes played. And Wednesday lead here at the moment. And Wednesday last season did not score more than 3 goals in a game. Their biggest defeat was a 6-0 defeat away at Ipswich in the middle of March. But that was something they struggled with last season, was the goal scoring. They only scored 44 goals last season. That's less than a goal a game. And again, it's been the issue in this first half. They've made loads of chances, but again, the goal scoring hasn't quite been there in terms of the chances they've had. They could have scored more than once. That's what I'm trying to say. But the one goal's enough so far. That's a yellow card there. Jamal Lowe, the striker, just going in a bit heavy there on Galloway. Let's have a look. The ball was there to be won. Galloway went with a header, and Jamal Lowe just went right through him with the shoulder. So it's a yellow card for the goal scorer. Just a bit of a sore one for Brendan Galloway. As we've hit the 45th minute here, we're going to get a bit of added on time. 3 minutes minimum. That's Galloway clearing it forward. It's a high ball into a central area for Plymouth, controlled by Tijani. Plymouth can't get on the loose ball, though. It's Ingleson to send it back to the goalkeeper of Beadle. Clears it long for Wednesday out to the left-hand side here. It'll be chased down by Palsson, who will win the ball, and he'll head it to his goalkeeper of Connor Hazard. Well dealt with there by Victor Palsson, who his last appearance for the Icelandic senior team was in March of this year. Got 44 appearances for his country. As Connor Hazard sends it beyond the halfway line towards Tijani, who controls it well this time. His shirt is being pulled. He's been pulled to the ground, but nothing given by the referee, as Bannon now has it to Windass. Can Wednesday get one more before the break? Jamal Lowe looking for a second goal. Squares it this time instead, and it's a clearance away. Well, as far as Bannon midway inside the Plymouth half, sends it out to the right to Valerie. Can he cross it? Goes back instead to Bannon. Back out to Valerie again in the final third. Crosses this time to the near post, volleyed away by Giabi. It'll be a Wednesday throw-in. I'm quite surprised Mohamed Tajani didn't get the free kick there. There was clearly shirt pulling on him, but the referee wasn't interested. As we've got 90 seconds left of this first half here. As I think, to be fair, there's a trip there. Sissoko, the winger, showing his attacking tackling. I've seen better timed slide tackles, and he's been booked for the challenge there by Lewis Smith. Just on Jan Valery. Got the return ball from the throw-in. Just took a touch beyond him. Sissoko slide in. Got nowhere near it. And a yellow card for the Dutch winger, who has probably been one of the best players on the pitch, and that includes both teams. Been really impressed by him, but on that far side, it's a really good angle for a cross, and especially when you've got the left foot of Barry Bannon, anything could happen here. Right before the break as well, Plymouth do not want to concede now. Bannon leaves it for Windass, who crosses right-footed. It's a flicker header away by Tijani, who will chase down his own header here. And it will be seen out for a Sheffield Wednesday throw-in by number 41, Jedi Gassama. 20 seconds left to the first half here at Hillsborough. Still 1-0 to Wednesday, scored on the 35th minute by Jamal Lowe. New free signing from Bournemouth. Max Lowe taking his time with the throw-in. Finding Bannon, first time ball down the line. Can't quite keep it in play there, Bannon. And we've played the 3 minutes of added on time, and the referee, Lewis Smith, will blow his whistle to signal the end of the first half. And it's been an almighty domination there by the home side, Sheffield Wednesday, who are able to conjure 9 shots on goal. 3 of them have gone on target, 63% of the ball. Plymouth just the 2 shots, a free kick on target by Forshaw and 1 off target by Whittaker. But altogether, it's been a really positive first half for Sheffield Wednesday. And on the 35th minute, Jamal Lowe opened the scoring. It was a ball that was played into the midfield by Valerie into Bannon, who worked it back down the right-hand side for Ingleson, who'd made an attacking run from midfield. Played a ball across with the outside of his left foot, right along the 6-yard box, and right at the far post, chasing it down. Jamal Lowe was just able to slide towards it, kick it towards goal with his right foot. It went underneath the goalkeeper into the back of the net, and it was definitely a goal that Sheffield Wednesday did deserve to score, and they got it, putting themselves 1 up at half-time here. It's been a bit of a difficult watch for Plymouth. They've lacked control in the game when they've had the ball, looking a little bit all over the place when they try and get the ball forward. But when they have got it forward, their wingers have looked really bright, especially their new signing of Ibrahim Sissoko. But at half-time here at Hillsborough, after the first 48 minutes, which has added up the first half, it is Sheffield Wednesday 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Definitely a correct scoreline off the basis of that first half. Sheffield Wednesday have been brilliant. And as mentioned before, even though Plymouth haven't looked too dangerous going forward, you don't want to leave the game too open. And you don't want to leave it open for a draw. Sheffield Wednesday will want to try and score their second goal of the game as soon as possible, maybe even get a third to really kill it off. Because Plymouth have the attackers to cause danger, but their build-up play, getting it to the attackers, has just not been good enough. It's been so disjointed at times. But I think for Plymouth, the positive has to be that it's only 1-0. It could have been a lot more if Sheffield Wednesday had their shooting boots on. But it is Wednesday leading by a goal to 0 at the moment. As we will go through the other results in the Championship from yesterday. Of course, we've still got one more Championship game to go, and that is being commentated on live here on this channel. Luton up against Burnley, 8 p.m. kickoff UK time. And then we are also commentating on the Super Cup final between Real Madrid and Atalanta on the Wednesday night. As the other commentaries are coming as well, so we've got next weekend as the Premier League begins, the Sunday kickoff. One of the Sunday kickoffs, we'll be covering Brentford up against Crystal Palace. And then in the week, on the Thursday, we are going down to League 2. And we'll be covering Notts County, welcoming the visitors of Grimsby Town. And then the weekend after that, so 2 weeks' time, again on the Sunday, we've got the two Welsh sides coming up together in the Championship. Swansea taking on Cardiff. And the week after that, we'll be going into the Scottish Premiership, where Celtic and Rangers have their first Old Firm derby. So that's all the commentaries coming this month. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all together. 7 coming for this month, covering the Championship, the UEFA Super Cup, League 2, and the Scottish leagues as well. And all commentaries will be scheduled a week before they happen, so you'll know exactly which games I will be covering. So we've gone through the Championship, and there were 2 games on Friday night, and Sheffield United, the other Sheffield side, got off to a good start, 2-0 away at Preston. Not an easy place to go, Preston. It's not the easiest of opening games to have, but Sheffield United do have one of the stronger squads in this division, it must be said. So they will be certainly aiming for a rebound back up to the Premier League straight away. They brought in some new signings as well. Callum O'Hare, I really like him from Coventry. Brought him in on a free transfer, I believe. He'll be really good in this division. Well, he already has been good in this division for Coventry, but he will be for Sheffield United, being able to play with the likes of Kiefer Moore up front and Gus Harmer as well, who he was very fond of, and he's very much he knows Gus Harmer from his time at Coventry. So that was a good opening night win for Sheffield United. And for Blackburn, late goals got them their win. It was 1-1 between Blackburn and Derby, who I think Derby are going to struggle this season. I don't think they've brought in enough players and good enough players to survive. I hope they prove me wrong, because I think Derby are definitely a team who deserve to be in the Championship, but you've got to earn your right, and I just don't think they've made enough signings to really, keep themselves up, in all honesty. They conceded 3 late goals. Vyman in the 72nd minute, Schmodix back on the score sheet, 76th minute, and then it was finished by Ohashi in the 84th, consolation by Kane Wilson. But goals scored for Blackburn, but Blackburn's issue usually is the goals they concede. Conceding 2 at home to Derby isn't the greatest of starts. As we move into the Saturday games, a brilliant start for Sunderland, who had a horrid season last season, everything going wrong. And they brought in a new manager of Régis Libri, who is a French coach, and they brought him in from Lorient. So I'll see how his job goes at Sunderland, but he got them playing well because they won 2-0. Luke O'Nien with the opener, and then a late goal by Jack Clark, another player they've done well to keep a hold of. Jack Clark, there's been a lot of interest on him from clubs at the top of the Championship and also some Premier League teams as well. So that was a great away win for Sunderland, beating Cardiff 2-0. And QPR, who just about survived last season, and they were touting relegation, but then Marti Cifuentes, their new Spanish coach, came in and transformed them, and he got them quite clear from relegation in the end. But they were beaten 3-1 by West Brom, who will be looking to try and get promoted this season. They failed in the playoffs last season, but it was Josh Madger with the hat-trick away at QPR yesterday for West Brom. And to go to QPR, not an easy place to go and win 3-1. That is a great start to the season for West Brom, who've been able to keep their manager as well, of Carlos Corberán. And as well, we've had Middlesbrough starting the season off with a 1-0 win. Just a penalty, but he has continued his goal-scoring form from last season, and that is Emmanuel Latte-Laff, who scored the only goal in that game. And for Swansea, it is their first full season under Luke Williams, who they nabbed from Notts County last season. And Leeds, very frantic opening game. Another draw. They drew their first game last season as well, didn't they, at home to Cardiff. That was 2-2. This one was 3-3. Went 1-0 up from the penalty spot with Strauch, and then went 2-1 down before half-time through Sorensen and Lang. And then they were able to get an equaliser right after half-time with Nonso. Then conceded a penalty late themselves. It looked like Portsmouth have won it through Callum Lang, but a 95th minute equaliser through Brendan Aronson, who's returned from a loan spell last season. He got them a 3-3 draw. But for Leeds, it's got to be promotion, hasn't it? It's got to be promotion. That starting 11 is ridiculous for the Championship. You know, Melier stuck around. Rodon, they got on a permanent after a loan spell last season. They've still got Ampadu, Nonso, James, Ruta, Joseph up front. They've still got Bamford, Piru. Aronson looks like he's staying around. So it's got to be promotion for Leeds this season, surely, under Daniel Farker. But a great start as well for Portsmouth in their first game back in the Championship after promotion last season for Pompey. And then Millwall losing late to Watford. They were 2-0 down to Watford, who are now under the permanent management of Tom Cleverley. But a Duncan Watmore double got Millwall 2-2 in the 88th minute. But then Mileta Rajovic got a 90th minute winner. I've seen a picture on Twitter, and for the Watford winner in the last minute, it did look like he was offside. But Watford would not give one, as Tom Cleverley's permanent management of the club has got off to a winning start. And Oxford, another promoted side, promoted in the playoff final, beating Bolton. They beat Norwich at home, who are looking for promotion. They were beaten by Leeds in the playoffs. Norwich are under new management as well themselves, of Hoff Thurup. And it was just, I watched a bit of that game, and it just seemed a little bit slow and a little bit, I don't know, it's like Norwich is still hungover a little bit from last season. And they need to get last season out of their head quickly, because of being beaten by a newly promoted Oxford United isn't the way you want to start your season. But for Oxford, they'll be hoping to survive this season. Just the one goal in the game between Stoke and Coventry. It was a later goal. Former Chelsea youth prospect Lewis Baker with the only goal in the 78th minute. But Coventry usually start slow and end quite strongly. They didn't end strongly enough to get in the playoffs last season, but they were able to have a historic and a heroic FA Cup run, nearly getting to the final. They were pretty much in the final against Manchester United in extra time, that last-minute winner, but was ruled out for offside, which was absolutely heartbreaking for everyone who wasn't a Manchester United fan. And the last game was Bristol City travelling to Hull. Hull parting ways with Liam Rosenior, which I was shocked about, because I watched Hull last season a few times, and the style of play was really nice, but they moved on from Liam Rosenior, who's gone on and managed now in the French top division. Can't quite remember what team he's gone to, but I know he's managing in the French top division. And they drew 1-1. It was a penalty in added on time, which got Hull their equaliser, Oscar Estepinian, their striker, with the goal. They went 1-0 down in the 84th minute. Mayula with the goal off the bench for Bristol City, but they weren't able to hold on to the 3 points. So after the first game so far, it is Blackburn who lead the league table on goal difference, on goals scored. Then West Brom, Sunderland, Oxford, Watford, Middlesbrough, Sheffield Wednesday at the moment, Stoke, Sheffield United. So 9 teams currently have started the season with a win. We've had 2 draws so far, Portsmouth and Leeds, and Bristol and Hull. Still got Burnley and Luton tomorrow to play each other. That is being commentated on live. 8 o'clock kickoff at Kenilworth Road. Let's make sure you don't go anywhere, as the second half of this game will be starting very shortly. as I'd love to know what exactly Wayne Rooney is telling his Plymouth Argyle team in that away changing room. I just think there needs to be more urgency and a bit. 100% Wayne Rooney will be telling his team to be more brave. It's like they're almost not scared, but worried of making that forward pass. And by the time they find the guts to make the brave pass, they're being closed down and they're losing the ball anyway. So you might as well go for that brave pass. And if you lose it, you lose it. It's better than losing it because you're dawdling on the ball too much and you take too much time. So I definitely think for sure that it just needs a bit more urgency for Plymouth if they want any chance of getting anything from this game. So the second half of this game will be starting in just a few minutes' time now. So we've just ticked over 5 p.m. here in the UK. Like I say, you know all the commentaries that are coming up in August. I'm very much looking forward to that Super Cup. Seeing Real Madrid with their super side that they've got coming off the back of the Champions League last season and La Liga. So let's see exactly how that one goes. Atalanta winning their first ever European trophy in their history, which was also a really good achievement for Atalanta, completely outplaying Bayer Leverkusen, which not many teams did last season. But yeah, Atalanta did just that. But there'll be plenty of commentaries this season as well. Mainly, as well, there'll be loads of commentaries due to the fact that there is that Sky Sports Plus now that is just bringing loads of football from all divisions as well. So, yeah, loads of commentaries come in just like last season. You know, Champions League, Europa Conference League as well. All divisions in England will be covering. You know, League Cup, FA Cup, and then loads of foreign leagues as well. As for Sheffield Wednesday, it will definitely be more of the same. And for Plymouth, they will need to improve. Get Whittaker more involved as well. They're number 10. You know, they've got Sissoko on the left-hand side involved plenty of times. But definitely need a little bit more from Morgan Whittaker, who looks like he could be leaving the club. You know, interest from Rangers and Leeds, as mentioned before. Could definitely get 10, 15 million pounds for him. Was in the Championship Team of the Year last season. Came through the Derby Academy, where he was born. Morgan Whittaker. As it looks like Sheffield Wednesday are back out here. And they'll kick off, kicking left to right. Plymouth left, right to left, towards their away supporters, who are in the upper tier of that away end to the left-hand side. As we're about to get back underway here. Out of Hillsborough, it'll be Jamal Lowe kicking us off for Sheffield Wednesday. Just waiting for the referee's whistle of Lewis Smith, who in fact made his Premier League debut, the referee, in February of this year at the age of 30. So one of the younger up-and-coming referees in the EFL. Getting a taste of the Premier League as we're underway here with Sheffield Wednesday. With Josh Windass just getting himself out to the left-hand side and going for a left-footed ball out to the right-hand side. It was an audacious attempt of a pass, and it goes straight through into the 18-yard box for Plymouth with Connor Hazard. Brendan Galloway to the left back of Ogbeta. Turns away from the Wednesday winger and goes forward here to Sissoko, caught there by Jan Valery. And that'll be a free kick for Plymouth. Just definitely felt that one, Sissoko, as we're already underway here for Plymouth in the 18-yard box with Gibson. Right-footed ball, it's loose and Bannon gets it and plays it forward to Windass, who slips in the box. And it's Gibson to bring it away. And he switches it out with the left foot to Sissoko, headed away by Valery down the line. And it will be Gassama to take on Ogbeta one-on-one. Gassama still has it. Plays it to the overlap of Valery, who's onside, squares it. Bannon shoots. He gets a second go at it. It's well blocked. Needs to be headed away for Plymouth. It's bouncing in the box. What are they doing? It eventually comes off the knee of Ogbeta. And it'll be a corner for Wednesday. Plymouth thought for sure that Valery was offside from his run. I'm not too sure. I'd have to see another one at it. Bannon had one shot blocked. The second one was blocked as well. And eventually, after a bit of confusion, Ogbeta was able to clear it. Good block by Palsson for the first shot and a good block by Galloway on the second, because I think both of those Bannon shots were going in. Outswinging corner from Windass. Headed forward and it's headed away. In the end, again by Ogbeta. Iorfa winning the header at the far post for Sheffield Wednesday. Didn't score last season. His last goal, Dominic Iorfa, came in November of 2020 away in a 3-0 win at QPR. Not scored for a while. He headed it forward. It was almost headed in by Masaba, but he just missed it. Wednesday's number 45 as the box here, the 6-yard box is absolutely full of Wednesday and Plymouth players as it's 10 corners now for Sheffield Wednesday. They've had plenty of them. You feel like one of them's got to count sooner rather than later. Bannon, left-footed, in-swinger to the near post, header away to the edge of the area. Ingleson heads it back into the box. It's into the hands of the goalkeeper there, of Hazard. Swing at it there by Gassama, but he was offside. So almost just left the ball to go through. Do apologise, not started the timer. Just under 3 minutes in to this second half. This is Brendan Galloway. Goes forward, it's a lifted ball, it's been flicked on by Sissoko, comes off Valerie, back to Sissoko, who plays a pass in behind for Bundu, and Plymouth are in behind, in the box. Bundu wants to get onto his right foot, waiting for support, finding the overlap of Ogbeta, whose cross is so overhit, and it goes out for a throw-in on the opposite side of the pitch. Really poor there by Nathaniel Ogbeta, as it was Bundu with the ball. He's been pretty much non-existent in this game, Mustafa Bundu, the Sierra Leone international. And that ball in from Ogbeta was really poor. Plymouth haven't been able to get forward many times, but when they do, they need to make it count, and they definitely didn't make it count that time around. It's Wednesday on the far side with the ball in the left-back area. Bannon sending it forward. It's a high ball. It'll be given chase to by Jamal Lowe. Galloway heads it into the air, and it's controlled by Jamal Lowe, who switches it to the right now. And there's a chance for Sheffield Wednesday to attack. Gassama. Got Valerie making a run, but he'll go on the inside himself. Gassama, left-footed, shooting, and it's blocked by Galloway. Will drop, though, here to Valerie on this near side. Keeping it for Wednesday and playing it inside. Brilliant ball to Gassama again. Ingleson has stayed onside. He puts it across again. It comes off Gibson. And it'll be a corner kick. No, it'll be a goal kick. I think it came off Gibson and then Lowe. And then out for a goal kick. Just timed his run there. Ingleson being kept onside by the right back of Palsson. And the goal kick eventually given for Plymouth. So they'll play from the back here, Plymouth. With a goalkeeper of Connor Hazard. Sending a ball forward. It's high. It's up to the halfway line. It's straight to Valerie for Sheffield Wednesday. And he'll play it down the right-hand side. It's high. It's a ball hit with pace. And Jamalo nearly gets there ahead of Brendan Galloway, who clears it. But Jamalo was coming back from an offside position. So not given. So no chance there in the end for Jamalo. Still not much improvement here by Plymouth Argyle in this second half. Who haven't won here for over 13 years. It's going to be a long clearance from the edge of the box here by the goalkeeper Connor Hazard. Down the left-hand side towards Tijani. Drops here for Ingleson in for Wednesday. Foul given. I think Tijani just pulling down Iorfa, who he was battling for with a header. So Wednesday free kick in their own half. 6 minutes played in the second half. Still 1-0. In their 18-yard box with the goalkeeper James Beadle. Played just over 50 games in the English football leagues. 2 seasons ago he had a 6-month loan spell at Crewe in League 2. Then last season started in League 1 with Oxford. Then moving to Wednesday in the January. As Ingleson in the box on the left-hand side. Tries to square it backwards there. Tries a second time. He nearly works it to Jamal Lowe. Needs to be cleared here for Plymouth by Forshaw. Little poke away. Just about works it to Bundu. And Plymouth can try and counter-attack here. Morgan Whittaker into the middle to Giabi. Just inside the centre circle. The touch is just behind him and he can't return it to Whittaker. And Wednesday now come forward. Masaba into Ingleson. Goes to the left to Bannon. Now in the final third here. Gassama into the box. Crossing it to the far post towards Jamal Lowe, who heads it across, and it comes off a defender. And Wednesday score. It's very fortunate, but it doubles their lead. I think it came off the head of Brendan Galloway in the end. It was a well-worked cross to the far post where Jamal Lowe's header wasn't even on target himself. It's almost like he was heading it back across goal. It came off Galloway, and as it came off the Plymouth Argyle defender, instead of going away from goal, it was headed into his own goal. Let's have a look. Cross goes in. Ooh, Jamal Lowe may have been offside there, actually. Jamal Lowe won the header on Ogbeta as he tried to head it back across goal. It's come right smack off the forehead of Galloway and into the top right corner. Not much Galloway could have done, not much the goalkeeper could have done. And it's a very sorry and sad way to see Plymouth go 2-0 down there at Hillsborough. Just after the restart, it's Sheffield Wednesday 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. And it's an own goal from Brendan Galloway, and it's not the start that Wayne Rooney wanted here. They are being beaten quite convincingly so far. Half the time it looks like his midfielders are playing in quicksand. It's just too slow. And they've been punished there. Yes, it's a very unlucky goal to concede, the way it's been conceded with the own goal, but overall play from the restart still hasn't been good enough for the away side. And they are now 2 down here. As for, but I mean, every away day for Plymouth is a long one, really, with the fact they're just so far away from every other club. But this is a 10-hour round trip for the away support here, as they could be conceding a third. Cross to the far post by Valerie. Volley towards goal. It's just gone wide. Anthony Masaba should have scored, and he hasn't. Right-footed volley. Arriving late at the far post. Another good attacking run by Valerie, who was found by Ingleson. And all alone at the far post. He's had a chance to volley it from about 8 yards out. Didn't really catch it too well. Almost healed it, Masaba. And Plymouth survive. And it's Wednesday building out from the back with Valerie. Ball forward, and it drops to Ingleson. The spacing behind here. It's with Jamal Lowe. On the right wing. Wants the 1-2. He'll try and get the return ball there by Gassama. But he can't quite do so. But he wins it back, Jamal Lowe. Great defensive work. And he crosses it in towards Windass, who keeps it in. Heads it backwards for Jamal Lowe. On his left foot. Wants it on his right. Tricky footwork. Jamal Lowe still has it. Slips and eventually goes out of play for a goal kick. Hi, I love your channel. Thank you very much. What team do you support? I don't say what team I support. Premier League. I've never given that away in the 5 years I've been doing this now. But I do support a League One side now. That's great to say. I've supported Stockport County since 2019. Like I say, it was just I wasn't seeing enough football for my liking. Going to Premier League games aren't as easy in terms of price and everything like that. It's a bit ridiculous. So I decided to start going to Stockport County in 2018, actually it was. It's 2018 I started going. In the National League North was my first season in the 6th tier. And we won the league that season, and we've just been getting promoted ever since, really, in League One now. Stockport County started off very well yesterday, winning 2-0 against Cambridge. Louis Barry with an unbelievable goal. So yeah, I do support Stockport County, but I do also support a Premier League team, but I usually just keep that quiet. As it looks like Wayne Rooney is going to make a triple change here, because something's got to change, something's got to give way. They've simply not been good enough in this game so far. I think they need a couple of central midfielders. I don't know if they're probably going to bring some on. I don't know if they might need some new ones, possibly. Improvement on their central midfield, because that's what's let them down so far in terms of their build-up play. As Sissoko brought down on the halfway line there by Valerie. On this near side, it'll be a free kick for Plymouth Argyle. As they're going to make a triple change here. Let's make sure we see exactly who comes on and who comes off. So first change will be straight swap up front. Mohamed Tajani, on loan from Slavia Prague, will be replaced by Ryan Hardy, who scored 12 times last season and got 5 in his first 6 games. looking for a similar record to start the season, and on he goes there, the Scotsman, Ryan Hardy. Second change is Mumba coming on for Ogbeta, so fullback for fullback. And the third change sees Mustafa Bundu replaced by number 11, Callum Wright. He only started 8 games last season in the Championship. Didn't play any minutes from January to April, and Callum Wright is now on for his 50th Plymouth appearance. So 3 changes there from Wayne Rooney to try and change his team's fortunes here. As it's with the right back, Patterson over the top ball. Ryan Hardy's chasing it, cleared away from him, but he'll be picked up by Forshaw. He's tripped, but play will continue as he finds Hardy. And out to the right to Whittaker in the final third, through the legs of Bannon, but then tackled by Max Lowe. And it's taken over there by Windass. Now Bannon in the left-back position, lifts it to Windass, who controls it, pokes it forward himself, and gets the return. Brilliant football from Wednesday. He's eventually tripped by Forshaw. And it's a free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. As Adam Forshaw not happy with the referee's decision there of giving a free kick against his team. But for Plymouth last season, they started with 7 defeats from their opening 15 games. And in fairness, they won some big games last season, Plymouth. You know, they beat the champions Leicester at home at the back end of the season. Also won away at Middlesbrough, won at home to Norwich, and also won their opening game to Huddersfield at home. So they did enjoy some positive moments last season, Plymouth, but this season could be slightly harder if they perform like they have today throughout the entire season. Just over half an hour to go here. Still 2-0 to Wednesday. Free kick for the home side here. Jan Valery just fouled there by the newly introduced substitute of Bali Mumba, former England under-19s international, coming up to nearly a century of appearances for Plymouth. This is appearance number 95 for the 22-year-old. So it's going to be a delivery in from Windass, about 35-40 yards out to the right-hand side, so nice little angle for a cross into the box. Plymouth's line is just outside the 18-yard area as Windass delivers to the far post, and it's just volleyed away by Hardy. Still having the area here for Bernard for Sheffield Wednesday. Goes back to Bannon, who recycles it into the box to the right-hand side towards Jamal Lowe, who's chasing it and battling with Forshaw. He's been sent towards the corner flag here, Jamal Lowe. He keeps it in. And he gets away from Forshaw, but then tackled by Sissoko. And that's got to be a goal kick. Sissoko is absolutely furious. That should be a goal kick, really. I'm sure the last touch came off a Wednesday player. As they're taking it quickly here, Windass to Bannon, who crosses it into the box, headed towards goal. Sent over the crossbar there by Dijon Bernard. Spent 6 years of his career at Manchester United. Actually came on for 1 game, Dijon Bernard. And he scored an own goal in a 2-1 away defeat in the Europa League against Astana back in November 2019. It's not exactly the best of appearances for him for Manchester United, but he's moved on now. Got his home here at Sheffield Wednesday as Whittaker kicks it off the number 45 and Masaba, and midway inside the Plymouth half it is a Plymouth throw-in with half an hour to play. Wednesday 2-0 up, and it is everything they deserve. They have been unbelievable in this opening game, completely just overrunning Plymouth in every single aspect. His right sends it forward towards Hardy, has to be headed away there by Iorfa. So into the Wednesday half we go here with Plymouth with the throw-in. Throw-in here for Palsson. Gets the return from Giarbi. Looks for Wright, goes beyond him, but Hardy can get it and play it to Wright, who turns away from Bannon on the Plymouth right-hand side here. Wright trying to go round the outside of Lowe, shielding the ball away from him and playing it through the legs of Wright there. Great defending from Max Lowe, who has it in the defensive third for Wednesday. Forward it goes down the line. Plymouth want to try and win it back in a high area, and they do just that. Whittaker now, left-footed pass looking for Hardy in the box, just cut out. It's now back with Wednesday on the ball. They try and go down the right-hand side. There's space for Valery. It's a brilliant ball. Valery bursting away. Slide tackle from Sissoko, who has to be careful. He's on a booking. Valery keeps it. Gets away from Sissoko and Galloway, then eventually brought down on the edge of the box. And that'll be a free kick for Sheffield Wednesday on the edge of the area. He's done so much running Both fullbacks, in fairness, have done so much running. Jan Valery on the right-hand side and Max Lowe on the left. So again, right-hand side. Angle's too tight for a shot, so it'll probably be a delivery into the box here. Windass, the right-footed option. Bannon, the left-footed option. Bannon would be an in-swinger towards goal. Windass is the outswinger, and he puts it into the far post. Free header for Bernard, and he can't direct it on target. Brilliant delivery from Josh Windass. He's been really good today, creativity-wise. And he bounces it right in front of Bernard, whose angle is very tight with his header, in fairness. But the fact he was alone at the far post unmarked is worrying signs for Plymouth defensively. They try and play out from the back. It's with the right back, Palsson. Goes into the box here to Gibson, the captain. Switching it with a left foot. High ball up towards Sissoko, who is dispossessed by Valery. Outstrengthened too easily. Valery crosses into the box. It's a great ball in. Goes all the way through to the far post here, where it will be Whittaker to pick it up for Plymouth. Palsson. Lifted ball forward down the right to right. Inside now. Left by Forshaw for Whittaker. Big switch out to the left. It's a great ball. Can it be kept in by Sissoko? He's got a sprint. And he will keep it in. Right in front of the corner flag. Chance for Plymouth here. Sissoko crosses. Far post just over the header right. And he won't be able to keep it in. And that'll be a throw-in for Sheffield Wednesday. A slight half glimmer of hope there for Plymouth going forward, but amounted to nothing in the end. Definitely for me, just watching Rooney's Plymouth for the first time, they need central midfielders. I think higher quality central midfielders is what they need. Only brought in 5 new signings so far in the window. And it's been mainly defenders and forwards. Only the one midfielder brought in, and that's Giabi, and he was here last season on loan, and he's returned again for another loan spell. High ball forward for Wednesday on the left-hand side. Header won by Palsson, but straight into the centre circle for Ingleson, who can bring it down all on his own. And look for a ball in behind here. He tries it. Mumba can deal with it. Going back to his goalkeeper of Hazard. Needs to clear it here. Goes forward to Galloway, who can turn very nicely. And plays it to the left back now of Bally Mumba. He drives inside onto his stronger right foot. And plays it to the right back of Palsson. Forward once more to Callum Wright on the halfway line here. Looking for a pass forward. Taking it on his own instead here. Being followed by Barry Bannon. It's now with Wright midway side the Wednesday half. Goes back towards the halfway line to Palsson. And then to the halfway line again and across to his centre-back then alongside him. And that is number 17, Lewis Gibson. And Sissoko on the left, given away eventually by Plymouth. It's now with Wednesday on the edge of their 18-yard box here with Bernard. The goalkeeper beat up. Finds Iorfa. Hardy closing him down. But he plays it forward here to Ingleson. Wednesday's new number 8. 26 years of age. Already got an assist today for the first goal. It's now with Gassama. Into Windass on the right wing in the final third. Trying to create some space here towards the corner flag. Being crowded out. Plays a pass inside to the box. Will Ingleson get there? No, he won't. Forshaw beats into it. It's now Mumba for Plymouth. Taking it forward to the edge of the box here. Needs to release it. Doesn't release it. Tackled by Jamal Lowe. But then Mumba wins it back with a tackle. And it's now with Sissoko. Tackle from behind by Valery. Seen as a foul by the referee. And with a quarter of the game left to play, it's still Wednesday 2. Plymouth 0. If this is a sign of things to come for Sheffield Wednesday, it could be a lot more of a positive season this time around. As they're going to make another change here, Plymouth. And it's been their best player by a country mile. Looked like if anything was going to be happening, it's going to be through him. So it is number 7, Ibrahim Sissoko, the man they brought in on loan from Toulouse. He's on a yellow, and he looks like he was getting a bit frustrated. He'll be replaced by the young Welshman, Freddie Isaka. He was the youngest ever Plymouth player. He came on for them in August 2021 at the age of 15 years and 34 days. So he's been around the club since 2021. And he's been used during pre-season for Plymouth. He scored in pre-season for them, Isaka, in their 2-2 draw to Orlando Pirates. And because of his debut being at the age of 15, he's only aged 18 now. So see if he can make any difference. Freddie Isaka, who played 5 times last season in the Championship, and his last appearance in the league was on New Year's Day to Watford. So another drinks break as we are midway inside the second half. So quick drinks break and then we'll be back underway. Where Rooney, I think, realises he's got a lot of work to do here. I think as well, Rooney will know this. And I think Plymouth fans will know this. In terms of out-and-out quality, they have probably got one of the lesser sides in this division. You know, on paper, it's not a great team. It doesn't scream loads of quality. Of course, they've got their individuals, but in this division, individuals only take you so far. It's when you need, you know, good, solid squad players who can play week in, week out at a minimum 7 out of 10 level. And I don't think Plymouth have quite got that. So, it'll definitely be a lot of work for Plymouth in the next few weeks, trying to bring in a couple of extra players into the team. As after the drinks break, we are back underway here at Hillsborough. It's in the Plymouth half here on the left-hand side here with Osaka, the substitute, tackled by Jan Valery. And it's now Sheffield Wednesday to attack and bring it forward. Gassama trying to play into the run of Valery in the box, been dealt with by Galloway. Has he been able to keep it in? He has. Osaka clears it. And that'll be a throw-in for Plymouth right next to the corner flag on this near side. Still not taken here by Ballymumba. Came through the Sunderland Academy. Ballymumba. Born in South Shields. 22 years of age now. Played 43 games last season in the Championship for Plymouth. They right back. They've lost it here. And it's now with Sheffield Wednesday on the halfway line with Bernard. Oh, great bit of skill there by Masaba. With it. Driving forward, Masaba in the box, still has it. Left-footed shot just wide of the far post. Really good run in there. Started with a sharp turn there by Masaba, who can play right across that front three. A really versatile forward, but from that left-hand side today, he's been a real handful for Plymouth. Turning away from Whittaker, driving forward. No tackle being put on him. As he entered the box, he was able to shoot towards the bottom right corner, just wide it went. And it still remains 2-0 here for Sheffield Wednesday. 20 minutes left to play. Bannon, early cross into the box towards Jamal Lowe. Can't quite win the header on Ballymumba. And it's headed back to the goalkeeper there of Connor Hazard. And it's now Plymouth in the left-back position with Mumba. Shoved to the ground there by Jamal Lowe. Free kick in a left-back position for Plymouth. It's going to be a long free kick taken by the goalkeeper, Connor Hazard. Into the Wednesday half. Header won though by Iorfa. He'll drop here for Plymouth's captain. He'll go back to the goalkeeper. It's a bouncing ball to Hazard, who chests it here. Jamalo's closing him down. The clearance isn't great. Forshaw's touch is okay though, and it's kept by Plymouth. So the right back, Palson. Forward to Whittaker. Shoved to the ground by Lowe. Free kick for Plymouth. Still inside their own half on the far side. Isaka. Touch around Valerie, but can't get around him. Valerie has been absolutely superb today for Sheffield Wednesday at right back. So is Max Lowe, who they brought in from Sheffield United on a free. I mean, everyone for Wednesday has been really good. Like, obviously, you've got your standout players, but I think everyone's been a standout player so far for Sheffield Wednesday. As it's back with the goalkeeper here, James Beadle. Windass down the right-hand side here. Ingleson will chase it. He plays it behind him here to Gassama. Inside once more to Windass. Across now. Gassama shooting, and that is really miscued. Masaba there in the end shooting. Trying to wrap it to the top right corner, but just got completely underneath it in the end. Unfortunate there. Windass found in so much space in the number 10 role. And then eventually got it to the left there. And I've seen better finishes by Masaba. Tried to take it first time as well. Just got completely underneath it. He's usually a lot better than that. And it'll be a Plymouth goal kick. 17 minutes to play. And in fairness, I just can't believe it's only 2-0. Max Lowe down here for Sheffield Wednesday, who's been non-stop running down the left. I'm hoping this is just tiredness and nothing more. Hopefully it's no muscle injury. But I mean, if you look at the stats, Sheffield Wednesday, 17 shots, just 4 on target. That's the problem. That's the issue. So I think Max Lowe will be brought off here just as a precaution because he has ran his absolute socks off. So Max Lowe off for the number 18 of Marvin Johnson. And they're going to make a second change as well. They're going to make many changes here, I think. So Max Lowe off for Marvin Johnson. Gassama off for another new signing, and that is Olaf Kubacki, the Polish left winger. And there's going to be a third change as well, it seems. It's 2 changes or 3, I can't quite make out. So Max Lowe, the one who made the change from Sheffield United to Sheffield Wednesday. Like I say, Sheffield Wednesday didn't sell him to Wednesday. His contract ran out and he decided to leave to go to Wednesday. So just 2 changes. Gassama off and Lowe for Kubacki and Marvin Johnson. So it's a fresh left-hand side for Sheffield Wednesday. But yeah, big change that, Max Lowe. Going from the red side to the blue side of Sheffield. Played 53 times for Sheffield United in the end. As we're back underway here, 15 to play. Couple of changes there by Wednesday. Throwing on the halfway line here for Plymouth on the far side. Got loads of options here for the right back, Victor Palsson. Waiting for a little bit of movement here. No clear option at the moment. Eventually throws it into right. Gets the return Palsson, then kicks it off. The number 45 of Musaba. So another throw in here for Plymouth. Palsson taking it, and again just waiting for a little bit of movement here. It's 4 short. Goes back to Gibson, the captain. It's now with the goalkeeper, Connor Hazard. A couple of seasons ago. Oh, bad pass from Hazard, looking for Mumba at left back. And it's now Kubacki, the new signing, off the bench, towards the byline, trying to cross it off Mumba. And out for a corner. Really sloppy giveaway there by Plymouth and their goalkeeper, Connor Hazard, who I was just saying, in 2022 had a loan spell at Helsinki and played 6 games in the Europa League against the likes of Betis, Roma and Ludogorets. He's played at decent level, Hazard, but that pass to his left back Mumba was slightly short, and now they've got a corner to defend. They've been outswinger from Windass on the near side, floated in, header forward towards goal, and it's caught by Hazard there. Looking for a goal there, Dominic Ayor for the centre-back, but the header just lacked the necessary power. Still 2-0 here Throwing out to the left back of Mumba. It's now Forshaw, the midfielder. Playing a high ball down the left-hand side for Plymouth. Controlled by Hardy, who's been isolated up front since coming off the bench. And he tries to get around Bernard. Can't do so. Brilliant defending. And a kick on the back of the leg by Hardy on Bernard. And it's a free kick for Wednesday. Yeah, barely any service up front for Ryan Hardy since coming off the bench. Like I say, he scored 12 last season. 5 in his first 6, but then got 0 in his last 12. His last league goal, Ryan Hardy, came at the end of February for the 27-year-old, former Scottish under-21s international. So cleared forward for Wednesday up towards the Plymouth 18-yard box, led away by Galloway and Giarbi to find Whittaker. Every time Whittaker's got it, it's almost like his back's to goal. Able to turn forward this time and find Callum Wright. There's a switch on to Asaka, and he brings it down. Asaka on the left wing in the final third, running at Valerie in the box, goes on the outside, pushed to the ground, too soft, and it's seen out for a goal kick by Bannon. Can see maybe what he's about there, Freddie Asaka, running at the full back, getting around him, but then just going to the ground after a slight shove. So Sheffield Wednesday will play out from the back, from the goal kick, with Beadle. Forward into midfield to Ingleson. That pass is a bit... to Windass, sorry. The pass is loose and it can't be kept in by Marvin Johnson. Thrown for Plymouth. Right next to the corner flag on that far side. Just a bit of a loose pass there by Josh Windass, but he's not done much wrong today. The 30-year-old who had interest from West Brom, but decided to stay at Wednesday and sign a new one-year deal last month. So it's going to be a throw-in taken here by Victor Paulson for Plymouth. If Plymouth can nick a goal here out of nowhere, 2-1, 10 minutes to go plus added on time, you just never know. Giarbi loses out from the throw-in though, cleared away for Wednesday. It'll be Mumba though for Plymouth to get there first, ahead of the new signing for Wednesday, and that's Kabatsky, the Polish winger. It's now with Brendan Galloway for Plymouth. Wants to go forward. Plays a high ball, and it's dealt with there by Valerie. Can't quite find his teammate of Kabatsky. And that's a throw-in for Plymouth. Just inside their own half here on the near side, taken quickly by Mumba. As Timo Werner's in the crowd. Not quite sure why. As Wednesday come forward down the left-hand side here. Marvin Johnson has it. Plays it to Windass in the area. Left-footed shots. It's deflected. Kabatsky this time. Shot deflects. And eventually dealt with by Forshaw. How this is only 2-0, I'm really not sure. Wednesday should have 4 or 5 here. Asaka switching out to the right, though, to Whittaker. That's a great ball. Can Whittaker do something now for Plymouth? Being closed down by Johnson. Whittaker switching it back out to the left again. To Asaka. It's almost come off, but it's a great defensive header by Valerie. And it's now Kabatsky into Ingleson. And Wednesday have it with 10 to play. Bringing out from the back here. It's now the number 8, Ingleson. Starting again now with Valerie. To the goalkeeper of Beadle. And for Plymouth, never played in the top flight, and I don't think they expect to anytime soon. Their best ever finish has been 4th in the second division back in 1953 for Sheffield Wednesday. Their last Premier League season was back in 2000, 99-2000 season. Spent 9 seasons in the Championship before that relegation to League One, where they spent a couple of seasons in that division before promotion 2 seasons ago via the playoffs. Very dramatic way of getting promoted. They were 4-0 down in the first leg of the semi-final against Peterborough, but then won the second leg 5-1 and won on penalties, and then won the playoff final against Barnsley at Wembley in the 123rd minute of extra time. So they did it the hard and dramatic way, but they're in the Championship, they've stayed in it, and they want to try and build on that now as they're in the 18-yard box on the byline, left-hand side, pull back! And the shot towards goal goes in. And a fantastic Josh Windass performance is going to be capped off with a goal. 4 goals in a row now, if you count last season. He scored in the last 3 goals. He scored in the last 3 games of last season. He's now scored in the opening game of this season. And it just caps off the perfect Wednesday performance. They have been fantastic everyone has been 8 out of 10 or above. And Windass, alongside Bannon and Ingleson in that midfield, have been the ones who have really made things happen. It was a 1-2 in the end he completed with Masaba. It was a bit of a long-winded 1-2, but eventually the ball was given back to Windass, and by the time he got it back, it was just the first time finish needed, 6 yards out, right-footed, got there ahead of Forshaw, who was trying to follow him all the way. Windass beat him to it, shooting to the top right corner, and it looks like he's made the right decision to stay put, stay in Sheffield, not leave the club, sign that 1-year extension in July, and he has got his season off with a goal. Scored 6 in all of last season. He's already got his first in the opening game of this season, and after his goal, it looks like he will be replaced for the last 7 minutes. It's going to be another 2 changes for Sheffield Wednesday. The first, we'll see Josh Windass replaced by the number 24 of Michael Smith, and his dad, Dean Windass, in the crowd to watch his son score his opening first goal of the season. And the second change, I presume, was Jan Valery, the right back, off for Paul Valentin, who was brought in from Sporting Gijón in the summer last season. So, yeah, and that is the 2 changes. Valery and Windass off for Valentin and Smith. As it's Wednesday on the halfway line, or left-hand side. Dragged down there, Masaba by Giabi, and that's a free kick for Wednesday. As we are coming towards the end of this game here at Hillsborough. It's Wednesday, who are 3-0 up. And Rooney has got a hard job here. It's going to be a difficult one. Don't get me wrong, not the easiest place to come on the opening day, because Sheffield Wednesday have got momentum from last season. But, yeah, their squad just isn't good enough. I mean, obviously you need a good enough manager to survive as well. But I don't think this will all be down to Rooney. If they've not got a good enough squad, I don't think. As Wednesday attack down the right-hand side, Kabatsky finding the substitute of Paul Valentin. He's just come on, the Spaniard, and he gets a cross deflected off Forshaw. And it'll be a corner on this near side for Sheffield Wednesday as they look to try and add a fourth. Like I say, last season, Sheffield Wednesday never scored more than 3 goals in a game. So if they win 4-0 tonight, then that already betters last season. And the crowd is in full voice at Hillsborough, delighted with what they're seeing. Their best finish in the Championship in recent years was 4th in the 16-17 season, beaten in the playoffs by Huddersfield in the semi-final stage, as the corner goes all the way through to the far post, kept in by the substitute of Michael Smith, who crosses himself. It's punched away by the goalkeeper and cleared up into the air for Plymouth, but straight to Bannon, who touches it to his left here, to Kabatsky, runs in the box, beyond one, beyond the second, tackled by the third, great challenge by Galloway, and Plymouth can try and get this away if they can. Whittaker on the left-hand side, playing it forward, but it's been won back for Sheffield Wednesday, and it's now with Ingleson, the central midfielder, lifting it out to the left. It's a great ball to Michael Smith. 5 minutes of the 90 to play. Masaba, tackled by Paulson, drops to Callum Wright. Can Plymouth try and get a consolation goal here? On the halfway line, Wright, forward to Osaka, gets away from one challenge, and then plays through Whittaker in the box, strikes it first time, and he's dragged it about 10 yards wide. He is very frustrated with himself there, Morgan Whittaker, who's been starved of chances. That's his second shot of the game. They've both been off target, and it's definitely been a day to forget for Plymouth Argyle and Wayne Rooney. Well beaten, and that was only their 3rd shot of the game as well. They've really struggled to do anything today. And those Plymouth fans have got a 5-hour journey back home, and they've not really had anything to cheer about today. Like I say, only 3 shots, 1 on target, and they've had to just defend so much of the game. So we're just under 4 minutes of the 90 to play. We'll get a goal kick for Wednesday, taken by their loney goalkeeper from Brighton, James Beadle. Down the right-hand side towards Michael Smith. Touches it inside towards Jamalo. Can't find him, though. It's now Plymouth. In the centre circle, Callum Wright. Tackled strongly by Ingleson. Forshaw. Can't get it forward. Header away in the end by Gibson. To Giabi. It's now to the left here to Osaka. On the left wing, playing it back to Giabi. Drives forward with the ball. 25 yards out, he's going to shoot towards the bottom left corner. It just goes wide. Doubled their shot count within a minute, Plymouth. Not the worst of attempts there by Darko Giabi. Former Manchester City Academy prospect. Just dragging it slightly wide. I think James Beadle, the goalkeeper, would have had it covered. And one of the new signings is going to be coming off it for fifth and final change for Sheffield Wednesday. Savante Ingleson, who assisted the first goal for Jamal Lowe, will be replaced by number 2, Liam Palmer, for Sheffield Wednesday. He had his testimonial game in pre-season against Leganes. Liam Palmer, the last pre-season game last week, which ended 0-0. Now the Scotsman comes on for his 437th appearance for the club. Been at the club since the age of 8. As there is Colleen Rooney in the stands to watch his husband's first game in charge, and it's not quite gone to plan. I think one of his sons is alongside her as well. But again, you know, it's a bit of both in this division. You need a good manager and you need a good squad. You know, Rooney's not really proven at the Championship. He's not had the best of times in this division. But the squad he's got to play with isn't great. It's a very weak Plymouth side compared to the other teams in the Championship. But it was always going to be difficult coming here to Sheffield Wednesday. I think they'll be up there this season, Wednesday, with the home crowd, the momentum that can give them. And just the fact they've got a really good coach as well helps. Less than 2 minutes to go here. Forshaw in the midfield, midway side the Plymouth half. Not got many options. Has to go back to the number 17 of Lewis Gibson, formerly of Everton and Newcastle at youth level. Paulson at right back for Plymouth. Pokes it forward to Whittaker. And inside to Wright. Wants to go forward. Gets away from 2 Wednesday players. And goes out to the left here to Giabi on halfway. Furthest left now is Osaka. And he's got space to run into. Drives inside. Been a really good substitute so far, Osaka. Looks for Whittaker. Cut out though there by Marvin Johnson. But only as far as the halfway line for Plymouth to restart with Lewis Gibson, who was actually a part of the Under-17s World Cup winning squad for England back in 2017. Lewis Gibson, who's now at the age of 24. Played over 50 times in the Championship now. Long ball down the right-hand side for Plymouth. Wright will chase it, headed away by Bernard. So throwing for Plymouth in the final third, and they throw it into the box quickly now for Osaka. His touch came off his arm, and it'll be a free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. Hopefully for Plymouth's sake, there won't be that much added on time, because I don't think they want any more of this. Not a lot to cheer about. For me, the only positive from this Plymouth performance was the low knee signing of Ibrahim Sissoko, who was on for the majority of the game, substituted in the end because he had a yellow card and he was getting frustrated. They don't want him sent off. But they brought him on loan from Toulouse, and he was really good for Plymouth when they got him on the ball. But the players around him didn't quite match his ability level. As we're about to hit the 90th minute, and we're going to have... It shouldn't be too much added on. I can't remember too many stoppages. Maybe 3 minutes? 4? 6? Where have they got 6 from? They've had a drinks break. Lowe went down injured, but that was during the drinks break. I don't know. 6 minutes added on anyway. At the end of this game at Hillsborough. And they keep panning over to the Plymouth supporters in the crowd, and of course, not many smiling faces. Whittaker does find Wright though in the central area. Works to the left to Osaka. Inside the area, on his right foot. Can he get a shot off? He's overran it. It deflects to Whittaker, who shoots himself. Oh, it's just wide of that bottom right corner. That wasn't far away from Plymouth's number 10. Osaka, you felt like, should have got a shot off. He was tackled by Bannon in the end. And as it deflects off Bannon, it dropped nicely for Whittaker on the edge of the area, who got a left-footed shot away. But just wide of that post. It wasn't far at all. Just a yard or so wide by Whittaker, who could still leave the club before the end of the window. Plenty of interest in him, that is for sure. And if Plymouth lose Whittaker, I think League One might be calling. That's in the air in the centre circle. Cleared in the air by Forshaw. Header won by Bernard. Straight out to the left-hand side to Masaba. He's going to run here at Paulson, who slides in well. And it's a throw-in for Wednesday, midway inside the Plymouth half. Bannon who's just drifted out to the left-hand side. It's now Jamal Lowe, the scorer of the first, and technically the assister of the second. His header came off the head of Galloway, which caused an own goal for the Wednesday second. Jamal Lowe towards the byline on the left-hand side. Keeps it in. He's going to try and take on Gibson, but he's overran it. And that'll be a goal. That'll be a corner. Actually, the touch came off Gibson. I thought Jamal Lowe had overrun it, but clearly not. So can Sheffield Wednesday add a fourth to their tally? Near post, low one, cleared by Mumba. Nearly kept alive there. It has been kept alive. It's now Bannon to the left here to Kabatsky. His cross comes off Palsson, and that will be a throw-in in the final third again for Sheffield Wednesday. Looked quite positive since come off the bench. Olaf Kabatsky, the Polish winger, born in Poznan. Scored 13 goals last season in the Polish second division. Bannon plays a ball through for Marvin Johnson. Lifts it in towards Michael Smith. Heads it towards goal. And it's been well saved by Hazard. Cleared in the end for Plymouth by Mumba. But Wednesday can come again. We've got just less than 3 minutes of the added on time to play here. Liam Palmer forward to Kabatsky. Drives inside from the right wing and lifting it into the box here for Lowe, who controls it and shoots towards goal. It's well defended there by Galloway. That'll be another corner for Sheffield Wednesday. It must be a record amount of corners. This is corner number 14, I believe, for Sheffield Wednesday. And for Plymouth, they just want to get off this pitch as soon as possible. Bannon, in-swinger, left-footed, trying to catch the keeper out. It's been headed on, and it's just gone wide. Kept in by Michael Smith, almost a second for Jamal Lowe. Chance now for Wednesday. On the edge of the box, there's a shot that's been blocked. Forshaw, heavy touch, pokes it away, but only as far as Liam Palmer, who sends it back out to the left now. Wednesday can shoot from afar. It's been parried away by Hazard. And it'll be kept in by Kabatsky on the right wing here. Or will it not? No, we will let it go for a throw-in for Sheffield Wednesday. A lot of work to do for Plymouth. They've got Cheltenham at home in the League Cup on Tuesday. Then they've got Hull at home in their next league game next week. And then they're away at QPR. So it doesn't get much easier for Plymouth. But is there an easy game in this division? Not really. Every team has got their own different strengths that oppose challenges for the opposition. Just over a minute left to play here. Plymouth wanting the final whistle. Sheffield Wednesday not wanting this game to end. They want more goals. They've scored the 3 though. Mumba throwing. Flicked on by Hardy, but only as far as Liam Palmer. Bannon first time forward towards Kabatsky. Sliding challenge by Galloway. And it'll be a throw-in right next to the corner flag for Wednesday on this near side. The throw-in will be taken by Paul Valentin, the Spanish fullback. Throws it into the box. Smith tries to lay it off for Bannon, but it's cleared into the air by Forshaw. As far as Palmer, who heads it out to the left wing here. Can it be kept in for Wednesday by Masaba? It can. Can't quite take on Forshaw. And the ball's rolled out for a throw-in, taken quickly by Johnson. Just 20 seconds left of this game. Can Wednesday get one more? Masaba. Back to Bannon. Lifts it for the runner Marvin Johnson, who will cross it into Michael Smith. Saved by Hazard, but this rebounds in. And Wednesday have a fourth. The substitute Michael Smith off the bench to get his first of the season. His last goal in the league came against Norwich at the start of April. Before that, he hadn't scored since October. Hopefully, he can score on a consistent basis for Wednesday this season. One substitute to another. Marvin Johnson crossing it to Smith in the 6-yard box, whose first attempt was saved by Hazard. But the second one couldn't be kept out. And in all of last season, Sheffield Wednesday never scored more than 3 in a game. And in the opening game of this new season, they've already scored that. They've already got more than 3 once, as they've just bagged their 4th. And that might be the last kick of the game here. Michael Smith with the goal. It's been a disaster for Plymouth. And it's Sheffield Wednesday 4, Plymouth 0. Michael Smith with the goal off the bench. And for Michael Smith, that is his 5th goal against Plymouth in 12 games. He don't mind a goal against this opposition. As we are just waiting for the referee's whistle now. As Plymouth do come forward, Asaka on the left wing into the final third. Try to drive on the inside of Palmer. And he gets away from Palmer. Valentine's trying to win it back now. And he can't quite do so. Asaka now in the corner flag. Kicks it out of touch as he tried to get around the Spanish fullback. And it'll be a goal kick. But it'll be a final whistle instead by the referee. Handshake from Danny Rowell and Wayne Rooney. As it's one to forget for the former Manchester United footballer. But for Danny Rowell, the good times keep rolling on for Sheffield Wednesday. They've absolutely demolished Plymouth Argyle on the opening weekend of the season here. It finishes at Hillsborough 4-0. And Plymouth never got going. And Sheffield Wednesday just never stopped. It was relentless. 27 shots in the end for the Owls. 8 on target. So 50% of their shots on target went in. The first one was a goal for the new number 9. And that is Jamal Lowe. Getting on the end of an Ingleson cross in the 6-yard box. And straight after half-time, a very unfortunate old goal from Brendan Galloway doubled Sheffield Wednesday's lead. And then 2 later goals really capped off a superb opening day for Sheffield Wednesday. Josh Windass scored with 8 to play. A really good finish from 6 yards out, a 1-2, which he finished off. And then one right at the end there, Michael Smith having 2 bites at the cherry, but getting his first goal of the season. And eventually it will finish here, Sheffield Wednesday 4, Plymouth 0. And in fairness for Plymouth, I don't think there's too much to read into this. Their squad's still not strong enough. They need more reinforcements. And at the end of the day as well, it's a hard place to go to on the opening day. I really do think Sheffield Wednesday could be up there this season. Mid-table, possibly pushing for a playoff spot. So I don't think it's the end of the world. They'll come up against teams that they'll have more chances of picking up a win against. But it's not a great first look for Wayne Rooney at Plymouth Argyle. Not the best start. No, great commentary. Cheers. Thank you very much. Like I say, the only way's up for Plymouth after that one. But again, it's a really difficult place to come to. And hopefully, for Wayne Rooney's sake, they can try and kick on. They've got Cheltenham in the League Cup in the week. Hopefully that can be a start. They've got Hull as well at home next week, who they beat on the final day last season. So let's hope they can try and get off to a winning start at home in the week and next weekend. But that will be the end of the live commentary here. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. The next commentary is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock kickoff UK time, as Luton host Burnley. We're also covering the UEFA Super Cup final on Wednesday as Real Madrid take on Europa League winners Atalanta. But here at Hillsborough, it is Danny Rowell's Sheffield Wednesday have got the 3 points. They have won by 4-0, completely dismantling Wayne Rooney's new Plymouth side, who have got a lot of work to do, a lot of new signings to make. As here at Hillsborough, it finishes Sheffield Wednesday 4, Plymouth Argyle 0.